Tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. Can't nobody tell a better pain of glory. So tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. Better you than people finding out I'm more. So tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. Can't nobody tell a better pain of glory. So tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. Better you than people finding out I'm more. Tell your story. Now tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. Can't nobody tell a better pain of glory. So tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. Better you than people finding out I'm more. So tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. Can't nobody tell a better pain of glory. So tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. Better you than people finding out I'm more. Tell your story, man. Now tell your story.
All right. Again, thank you, Terea, for joining us tonight. Happy MACM Tuesday to everybody. Happy MACM Tuesday. So yeah, y'all, we have Terea Griffin, and she has an amazing story. Y'all gonna be
Thank you.
Yeah, so if anybody has any questions, we will use the clap reaction, and me or one of the workers will pause you in your story, ask that question and give you the opportunity to answer it, and then you'll just continue on with your story.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna move really quick.
Okay.
I don't want to be rude. Got like 3 babies downstairs going crazy.
Oh, we know how it goes.
Okay, so here we go. Sorry about that, guys.
When you are ready, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Okay, so you just want me to jump right into my story?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Wherever you want to start with us, from beginning to end, however you want it to be.
Okay, cool. So first and foremost, hello everyone. My name is Terea, Terea Griffin. I met Miss Nikki actually through the company that we are both currently working with. So that is how I know her and her beautiful daughter. Let's see, where should I start? Let's start with, I guess, the beginning. I come from a household with a single mom. My dad's pretty much been in prison all my life. He actually just got out like last month, I think. And so yeah, that's that. My mom was always, I have a little brother, so there was always me, her, and my brother. It was always just us. But I've been very independent since I was 16 years old. I've been working, learn how to get out and get it on my own because I got tired of hearing, no, I can't. So that's where that whole mentality of I got to go get it automatically comes from for me. At a young age, I was tired of hearing what somebody else couldn't do. And I figured out that I would have to go do whatever I wanted to do on my own. And that's period. So since I could, that's what I've always done. When I was about 17, 18, I started working in the medical records field, and that was going well and everything. And then I ended up meeting my kid's father, and I was in school too. I was in college in my second year at Rockford University. And I ended up getting pregnant not too long after I met him. And before I got pregnant, though, he came in and messed up my school stuff with some crazy. He brought drugs to my school, and I got kicked out, and it was just a bunch of crazy stuff that happened. So pretty much when I met him, a lot of things started going crazy for me. Like I just got fresh out of school, and I was new to the world, so I was trying to figure some things out, and kind of got caught up with the wrong crowd, if you will. And I mean, with him, my kids were the best thing that came from him, but that's where a lot of things started in life for me. I went through a really emotional, abusive relationship with him. It never got quite physical, but he did do some things like tear up some stuff and stuff like that. And it was just me and him for a while. And I was doing that job that I told you guys about, and he actually ended up getting me fired from that. And that's when my struggles began. And I was pregnant with my second daughter at that time. And when I got fired from that job, he was pretty much never much of any help for me. So once I got fired from that job, it came down to, now I'm down to my savings and don't know really what I'm going to do after this, but I'm going to make something work. And I got down to the wire, started doing Postmates and things like that. And I came to a point where the bills were catching up to me and I was getting way behind on those bills and I couldn't afford those bills. And it got to a point where I could not pick up the slack and I didn't have any help picking up the slack. I have a family, but I don't have a lot of support. I know everybody has their own lives, everybody has their own things going on. So I don't really do too much of the negativity towards not having a lot of support, because I do understand we all have our own lives, we all have our own priorities and things like that. So I definitely take responsibility for everything that has to go on with me. So that's just that. I just didn't have a lot of support and I ended up getting evicted from my place. So I lost my place. I had just lost my job. Now at this point, I'm doing Postmates. I'm doing whatever I can. I'm place to place in hotels, just basically trying to get by any way that I can. I'm trying to get by. And I ended up moving out to Mississippi because my baby daddy's mother lived in Mississippi and she was pretty much our last option. Like it got to the point where we're in Kansas City and there's nights when we didn't know where we're going to sleep, or we didn't know how we're going to eat, and we don't know how we're going to get gas money for the next day. So when it came to her, she's like, well, if y'all want to come out here, y'all can come out here and get on your feet and I won't have any problem with it and whatever. So we decided to do that. And that was back in about March, I believe. We went to Mississippi and that's when COVID hit. So as soon as we got to Mississippi, it was all bad for us. Like we were already struggling in Kansas City, and then we go to Mississippi, which is smaller and it's a lot different from how it is in Kansas City. So it was like a more of a struggle. So I ended up finding a job at a restaurant out there, but then my baby daddy got that taken from me. And that was the point when I hit my breaking point, because I'm like, God, there has to be a reason why you keep taking everything from me. Like, I don't understand why everything keeps going bad for me. It seems like when I'm with this person, nothing is going right. Everything's going left and I can't figure it out. And there was one day when I was just sitting in the kitchen and I just started crying. Like I just broke down to God, real tears, real shouting. Like I was having pretty much a shouting match with him. Like, God, I'm tired of going through this struggle, because in my head, I'm thinking, I was just having a simple thought process of, okay, I have $10. How am I going to be able to pay for diapers and get some food? The kids are going to eat, but I'm not going to be able to eat. How am I going to be able to have gas money for the next couple of days? I was literally thinking of all these things in my head, and I just broke down to God, like, God, I'm tired of trying to figure this out. I need your help. I can't do this by myself. Whatever you need to do, use me, take control of my life, take control of it all, because I'm lost. I don't know what to do anymore. I just don't know. And I just gave it to God. And I was crying real tears, y'all. And when I got done crying, I literally got a phone call about a business opportunity as soon as I wiped my face. And I promise, like, my life has been so different ever since. I mean, mind you, I still am going through my battles. I still am going through my struggles. I still am, in between places and trying to figure that out. So in reality, in life, I'm in a very crazy spot. Like I'm in a spot where a lot of people probably would be depressed right now, or be angry or upset and, stuff like that. But I just have came to a point where God is all over me and God is running all through me. And I know that I have to go through my trials to get to my tribulations. I have to go through this. I just can't throw in a towel, because God's not done with me. He's given me this testimony for a reason. And I know that it's not just for me. I know, it's hard. Like I got these 2 little girls. My girls are babies. I don't get help with them. I don't get any state assistance. I don't get any of that. And I'm figuring it out because, like I'm saying, I know God didn't give me these girls for nothing, and God's not giving me this testimony for nothing. Not only so that I can better appreciate the fruits of everything that I've been through when I do make it to the top, and really appreciate my tribulations and celebrate that, but so that I can help somebody else, because I know I'm not the only person that's going through what I'm going through. I know I'm not the only person who has been through these struggles with young kids from place to place, or trying to figure out where the next money is going to come from, or you have to pick between what bill to pay, or if you're going to eat or not, because I'm going to always make sure that my kids eat. But there's been days when I had to go without eating, and that's just real. But the way that I see it, God got me. And as long as I keep my faith, as long as I keep the hope and keep it alive and keep it strong, and I'm not weary in well doing. And I wake up every day and I just thank God. I thank God because although I might not be in the best spot in life, I have him, and I have his peace that he gave me. And I know that I'm going to be okay. I know that he's going to pull me out. I know that all of this is for a reason. It's not for no reason. I definitely know that he's doing something. He's using me just like I asked him to. I specifically asked him to use me. And when I first started going through my struggles, it all started with me getting kicked out of school. When I first started going through that, and then I started going through my eviction, I remember I was talking to God and I was like, why? And then I had to catch myself and I was like, God, I know I can't ask you why, but I know you're doing this for something. I know you're doing this for some type of reason. And the more and more and more I go on in life, and I've been introduced to this business, and I've been introduced to all different types of people in my life that have provided me with help that I haven't even received from my own family, some of them, and from some of my own friends, just people that already know me. For me to have met a whole new circle of people, I feel like God works in mysterious ways, and we might not always know how he's working, but you don't ever just meet someone by chance. That's the way I see it. You don't ever just meet people by chance. Souls, when they meet, they're destined to meet. They're supposed to meet. There's a reason why these people are in your lives. So one thing that I want everybody to do is, because I know we all are going through our own struggles, we all have our own problems. If you have something in your life that makes you happy, something that makes you smile, no matter what it is, whether that's your kids, whether that's your morning coffee that you have every day, whether, you know what I'm saying? We all have something that's going to bring us a smile regardless. So I feel like focus on the thing that makes you happy in life. Focus on that one thing and hold on to it, because it will keep you afloat. It will keep you afloat through everything that you're going through. Hold on to those Bible scriptures, because those are songs that will get you through these waves. I promise, everything that you're going through, there's a scripture for it. Everything, there's an answer for it in the Bible. Every time you're feeling down, pray. Every time you feel alone, pray. You're not alone. God is with you. You are going to be okay. You're going to make it out of this on top. God is not done with any of us yet, and that's why we're all still here. So we cannot throw in the towel. And that could stand in a lot of ways. That can mean a lot of things, because I don't know what everybody's situation is. I just know that God's not done with you yet. He hasn't quit on you. So don't you do it. And don't be weary in well doing. Get up every day and be happy. Be happy that God woke you up this morning. Be happy. Find something to be happy about, because that's going to keep you positive throughout the day. The devil is going to work, and the devil is going to try to attack you in any way he can, even if that's through something the closest to you. You'll be surprised how the devil tries to attack you. I've had the devil try to attack me through my own mother. He will try to attack you in ways that you wouldn't even expect, in ways that you'll be like, oh my gosh, like this today. And you might want to give into it, but you can't. You have to remember that God is with you, and you have to remember that he's in control at the end of the day. That is what I'm doing. Every day is a new day. Every day is not easy for me. I'm getting up and I'm really working hard to build towards the life that I want, and to get my kids out of what we're going through, because my kids are babies right now. So they're young. They don't really too much understand what mommy's going through, or what mommy's working so hard to make sure that they don't have to see as they get older, because that's very important to me to get out of this now. That's why I'm working so hard right now. On everything that I love. My kids cannot see the things that I've seen growing up, the struggles that I've seen. I just don't. That's something I feel like we have an option here. we're not supposed to be here struggling. We don't have to be here struggling and going through this. There's just too much out here for us to be okay, to be more than okay. Too much out here for us to be happy, for our kids to be well taken care of and provided for, and have a life that a lot of us never knew. So I'm working very hard to make sure that my kids have that life, to make sure that they don't know the struggles. They don't have to pick between the lights and the gas, or the lights and the water, or you know what I'm saying, things like that. They don't have to be told, no, I can't do this, and when reality I just don't have it, or no, you don't need that, when in reality I just don't have it and I just can't do it. I don't want to be that. And it's not all about materialistic things for me. It's about stability. I want to provide a very, very good stability for my children, to where they don't have to look for anybody else, because mommy's there, mommy has it, and mommy's going to take care of it. So that's important to me. I'm going through my struggles, but I look at my kids every day and they keep me going. I look at my kids every day and they put a smile on my face. They're my why. They're why I get up. Sometimes they're the reason why I'm going crazy, but they're definitely going to be the reason why I make sure I get my butt up and I keep it pushing every day. I don't care if I'm going to be pushing it out of a hotel. I don't care if I'm going to be pushing it out of a shelter. I don't care, because I'm going to get out of it. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed of anything that I'm going through, because I'm going through it for a reason. I don't have a problem with sharing my testimony. I'm not perfect. I done made some mistakes. I'm 22 years old and I know I got a long way to go, but hey, I'm not going to throw the towel in. That's all I know. God is not done with me yet. He has not given up on me. So I ain't going to do it. So that's my story. If anybody has any questions for me, I'm very open. I'm willing to answer anything.
Okay, so there we go. So what was your biggest battle or challenge growing up?
My biggest battle was probably not having my dad in my life, and then like I had my mom in my life, but my mom, she really didn't too much have her mom in her life. So she kind of struggled in some ways with knowing how to be there for me sometimes. So that was probably my biggest struggle, because the only thing I ever wanted was to be close to my parents. And I had my dad who was in prison, then I had my mom who was there, but she wasn't there. So that made it hard for me, because I feel like it was a lot of things that I had to try to figure out. And there's a lot of things that I had to try to do on my own, which I always just wished, I had that relationship, because I feel like it would make things easier for me. Just like even now, if I feel like if I had that relationship with my parents, the struggle that I'm going through wouldn't be what it is. So yeah, that's probably my biggest battle in life.
So I have a
Do you
question.
think? Oh, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
So I noticed throughout your story, you said the kids were like one of your main motivators in life. I was just wondering if what else, or like what other things did you have that kept you going besides your kids, or was that just like the main motivator?
Well, my kids are 1 and 2 years old, so I've definitely been always motivated. Even before my kids, I've always been very independent and a go-getter. So they're just like a boost. Now it's like, well, we're here now, so it's like, okay, well, I got y'all to look to. But even before they were here, it's just the fact that I knew that I was the independent person who depended on myself. So I just got up and did everything that I wanted to do. I knew if there was anything I wanted in life, I wasn't going to get it unless I went to go get it. So that's what always kept me motivated, knowing that I had to be that one or it wouldn't get done.
Thank you. Straight like that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I have another if no one else does.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you also spoke of scriptures to keep with you, and I definitely identify with that. Totally, I got Psalms 27 tatted on my arm. But I was just wondering if you could talk about some of the scriptures that you have, or that you continue to hold with you or carry with you.
Okay, well, for me, I can just name a few. Like I don't know them specifically. I do have a Bible app that I read every day, and it's crazy because I read it in the morning and I read it at night, and so there's always something different on there. But like one of my favorite ones is one that I mentioned earlier, which is "Don't be weary in well doing." That's something that I remind myself every day, like I can't be weary in what I'm doing, especially if it's for a good cause, especially that's not just when it comes to business, but life in general, just being kind to people, passing love, passing positivity. And even if I'm having a bad day, I'm not going to shed that on someone else. I'm still going to do the best to pass some type of positivity out because I can't be weary and I'm doing well. So that's one of my favorite ones. There is a couple, like I don't want to mess it up or anything, but when I was in Mississippi, and I was going through my struggles out there, I was out there by myself, so I didn't have any family out there. I didn't have anyone but my child's father. And there was a time when we got pretty bad out there, and I was just, reading my Bible and getting closer to God every day. And I remember I kept asking him, like, because I was trying to decide if I should go back home. So I kept asking God, like, God, please send me a sign, like, just send me something to let me know that this isn't where I'm supposed to be, that you want me to go home. And he sent me a scripture that day on my app for me to read. And in my prayer, the scripture just basically, the main things that I was worried about with coming back to Kansas City was the violence and how I didn't want to raise my babies around the violence and everything that goes on down here. And the scripture that day, when I asked him to send me a sign, I don't remember it specifically. I have a screenshot of somewhere on my phone, but basically it just said that to not worry because God is going to be with you wherever you are, that the land is going to be filled with bloody crimes, but use God's chain as a covering to keep you okay. And that was like God directly answering to me because I said that my whole worry with going back home was the violence. And God told me, don't worry about the violence. Use me as a chain to cover you. So that's just one example. I mean, every day it's like he's speaking to me through the scriptures. It doesn't matter what I might get up and which scripture I might pick, and or I might go to church and the scripture that the pastor picked out for that day, God is talking to me because I was just talking to somebody about that last night. Like, how would the pastor know that? You know what I'm saying? That's just how I know that God is helping me use these scriptures as songs to get through what I'm going through. Because like I was saying earlier, there's one for everything. I have a sheet that has the list of each scripture that you need. If you're sad, if you're happy, if you're down, it has every scripture that you can pull up and go to. And I just really feel like the whole Bible period is a book to help us get through this life. So
Thank you again.
you're welcome. Thank you, Mark.
Tabitha, you had a question?
Huh?
I was saying you had a question.
Yes, I did. So my question is, what did your dad go to prison for, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. He actually went to prison for robbery. He committed one of the biggest robberies in Kansas City. It was a 1997 Tivol jewelry heist.
Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also, did your children's father ever go to jail or prison or anything like that?
No, he's never been to jail. He's never been to prison. He's always been out and free. He's just kind of like, he's one of the fathers who, if I'm not dealing with him, then he's not dealing with our kids. So both pregnancies, he wasn't there. And my second pregnancy, my daughter she was here. You know what I'm saying? She was a baby, and he still made that choice to step out on her and not be there for her. And even now, the situation that we're in and that we're going through, I'm not even sure where he's at. I'm not sure what state he's in right now, but I'm here and I don't talk to him. He doesn't really check on his kids, and it's just me trying to figure it out on my own.
How does that make you feel?
At first, I was really like, I used to take it to heart a lot, and I used to be really upset about it. And I would be like, this is not fair, because I'm doing everything on my own. I'm providing for our kids. I'm here with our kids. Like, I don't get any type of break. And, I really just looked at it in that light. But then I kind of found the positive twist on it. And I'm just like, well, I have my kids, and I get the option to be the mother that I'm going to be to my kids. I'm going to take care of my kids regardless, whether he's here or he's not. Like I said, like, I never had the best relationship with my parents. So I always asked God to send me love. Like I always asked him to send me my own type of happiness, my own love that would love me back unconditionally. So I feel like even though it might not have came how I expected it, because our blessings don't always come packaged as we expect them to, but God sent me my kids. And so I have my happiness. I still sometimes get upset that he's not here, that he's not helping me, but the way I see it is his loss. And as our kids get older, they're going to understand that. I'm not going to bash their father. I'm not going to talk down on him. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to let my kids see for themselves as they grow up. They're going to see what it is and who's there and who's not. And I'm just going to do my part. I can't be stuck on what he's not doing or how he's not here. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to do what I got to do. It does get hard sometimes. And sometimes I do feel like I need a break, but I know in the end it's going to be worth it, because I always say God didn't give me these kids for nothing. He didn't give them to me for nothing. So that's what I got.
Okay. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Now, just asking, how old is he? Is he young as well?
Yes, I'm 22 and he's 23.
Okay, so yeah, he's still fairly young, so you never know, just keep praying for him. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a relationship type way for you and him, but just keep praying for him, because men mature late, you know what I'm saying? So, just keep praying for him and just keep him covered, you know what I mean, for your babies, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I absolutely adore you, Terea, and I'm so thankful that you came to tell your story. I appreciate you. I didn't know your story before, so I'm glad you're willing to tell it, and you're just so well versed and just flow so beautifully. You're just,
thank you, Miss Nikki.
You're welcome,
I appreciate
sweetheart.
that. I appreciate that.
My question is, was he the same type of man he is now before the kids?
No. I feel like I don't want to speak for all men, but I do feel like a lot of times they kind of trick you a little bit and portray to be a type of man that they're not, and they're gonna be like, you believe it or not, my baby daddy is the one who wanted kids. I didn't want kids at the time. He wanted kids, and he begged me for kids and I didn't offer to give the kids. He just kind of set me up, and he'll tell you that, like, he'll tell you I did it because I wanted the kids, but now he's not here. So it's just like, I feel like you just have to just let God lead you into that. If God ain't telling you, then that's who he wants for you. You'll definitely know, because you'll definitely know. That's all I gotta say. If he don't go to church and he don't believe in God, look the other way, because he is not. If he don't respect his mama, he ain't gonna respect you. And that's something that I had to learn growing up. And as a younger person, I really didn't pay attention to the whole, if they don't respect their mom, then they're not gonna respect you type of thing. And my baby daddy, he always had respected me in the beginning, but I've never, like, he didn't have a relationship with his mom. And then when I started to get around him, I would start to see like how he really didn't care for his mom. And, as the relationship went on, I seen the reflection of the disrespect that he put out on me. So, yeah, he was not like, he was really nice in the beginning, and he was real sweet and just cool and stuff like that. And then over time, you get to see somebody's true colors, and no. He's not the same person he was at all.
Well, thank you for that answer. I had another question, but I lost it. Does anybody else?
I got a question. So how exactly did you said you met your child's father at school?
No, we didn't meet at school. I was just in school at the time when I met him. We actually met on the internet.
Okay, you want to walk us through that process?
Yeah, sure. Well, we met on Snapchat. We were just friends on Snapchat, like seeing each other's stuff for a while, and then I reached out to him and I was like, "Hey, you're cute," and then he's like, "I think you're cute too," and then we just kind of started texting. After like about 2 weeks, we decided to hang out, and when we hung out, it was like we just hit it right off the bat. Like it was like we known each other forever or something when the first time that we hung out. So after that, we were just like stuck. Like it was really hard to separate us, pretty much. So yeah.
Okay, I'm not trying to be weird, but when you say hung out, what do you mean? Because some people be like hung out, but hung out means
No, we didn't have sex or anything. We just watched a movie at his uncle's house, and it was really cool. I mean, he tried, of course, but I was like, no, it's the first day and I don't really know you like that. And yeah, so we just hung out and it was really cool. And after I said no, he wasn't like pushy. So that's another reason why I kind of liked him, because he wasn't like, oh, come on, give it to me, come on, like how some guys are. So yeah,
Okay.
we
And
just watched movies.
have your daughters met their father? Like
Yeah.
met him?
Yeah, they know their father very well. He was there when my first daughter was born. He wasn't there when the second one was, but he came back when she was about 2 months or 3 months. And so they know, like my daughters, they know their dad very well.
Okay. You're not. All right. That's all I got right now.
Okay.
Right now. That's all I got right now.
Okay, so do you think not having your father or wife played a factor as to the type the man that you attracted?
Yes, I do. I actually do. And for a little bit, I blamed my dad for that, because I felt like he wasn't here to show me what a man should be. And so that's why I went looking for love in the wrong places. And I feel like if he was here, then I wouldn't have did that. And my relationship with my baby dad might be the one where I had kids and everything like that. So I really got attached, and I got in that relationship. But before that, I did go through heartbreak, and I did go through other bad relationships and other mental abuse and things that I shouldn't have ever let myself go through. But as a young girl, when you don't have that guidance from your father, and you don't know what that true love is like from a man, it's kind of hard. I mean, it's very easy to be misled by something that you might think is true love, especially when it's coming from a lot of the wrong directions and it's coming from everywhere. And you're like, okay, let me see where I can get the love at. And it might not be the love that you need, but if you're feeling like I want some love, you're going to take it. And that's just what I did. And I just wish that my dad was in my life, because that it did affect me. I feel like it affected a lot of my decision making. And guys, I feel like I would have been able to look at a guy and be like, no, like you're not. My daddy already told me what kind of guy you are. Like my daddy already told me to watch out for you, or my daddy already told me to listen out for this. But I didn't know any of that, so I was just. But now, I mean, and that's not even with his help either. It's just after you go through a little bit of experience, you start to learn and you start to pick up. And that's what I'm doing. So, yeah.
Thank you. I agree on that. And then, so you said you have a little brother. What's y'all's relationship like?
Me and my brother are really close actually. When we were younger, we weren't close. We didn't get along well at all. And that's because he was the youngest and like he's a boy. So my mom has always like taken to him like my son, my son, my son. And so yeah, we didn't really get along very much. But whenever I went off to college and I lived on campus, my little brother missed me a lot, I guess. So whenever I would come home on the weekends, we would catch up a lot. And ever since I went to college and came back, we've been close.
How
Okay, I
far
think
apart are you guys? Sorry.
It's okay. We're 4 years apart. He's 18.
Okay. Go ahead, Tabitha.
I was gonna say I think we have a question. I think I cannot say this name, but Bartholomew.
Wow, really? Go ahead.
Wow.
Hey, so you were mentioning that you didn't have your father in your life, and your daughters, unfortunately, kind of are going to be in the same situation. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully, their father turns around and turns into a respectable man and all of that. But if not, how do you avoid your situation taking place again through them? What are you going to
Um,
teach them?
well, honestly, my personal take on it is the best I can only do what I can do. If I do, I do feel like God is going to send me a husband. I feel like God is not only preparing me for my husband, but I feel like he's preparing my husband for me right now. So whether, you know, I already have kids or not, I do feel like there is somebody out there for me, and he's going to send me the perfect provider. And you know what I'm saying? Everything that I've been praying for and everything that I wish that I had in my dad. I did used to beat myself up a little bit, saying that, you know, I picked my kid's father and I'm the reason that they have the dad that they do. And I already went through this. I didn't want them to go through this. I did used to beat myself up about that really bad, but the way I see it, it's already done. The only thing that I can do is my best to make sure that they don't feel the same way I feel. And I feel like a lot of the way that I can do that mostly is by being the mother, the best mother that I can, and giving them what I didn't have and the love and affection that I didn't have, because at least it'll be coming from me. You know, if I can't give that them from their dad, at least I can do the best that I can to give them that and teach them what I've learned and everything like that. And I just want to keep my kids very involved with God. And I just want them to know the real, because I feel like if I keep it up front with them and keep it real with them, it'll be a little bit easier for them as they grow up to understand, because of the things that I was going through, I just never understood. I was just always trying to figure it out and just understand things on my own. So I didn't have someone open my mind up to certain things that I will open my daughter's minds up to. But all in all, I do feel like God is going to send me a father figure for my kids to help me raise them and to do what I need to do, because I just feel that way. God gives me a certain peace and a certain understanding that sometimes I really can't explain, because he just gives it to me. But I definitely know that they're going to be all right, whether their dad gets it together or not. I know that they're going to be all right.
All right, so I got a follow-up question to that. So with all that being said, like why did you ignore the signs? Like you obviously said that there were some signs there, but why did you ignore them?
Because no other reason other than I was naive. I was Audrey. Okay, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Sorry. So the only answer that I can really give to that is that I was naive. I did a lot of believing that he would change, and a lot of believing that what a lot of people say, he's young and he's gonna do this and this is gonna happen. And a lot of people kind of normalized a lot of the things that he was doing. And in my head, I started to normalize a lot of things too, and become comfortable with things and think that things were okay that were not okay. And there was a point where he took a really good toll on my mental. Like there would be things that I knew damn well wasn't right, and I knew damn well I shouldn't even have to question, but he had got me so good. Like he had a hold on my mind, and it was like almost like I had to break myself out of that hold, because it's like when I did break up with him, God snapped me out of it. Because when I tell you, like one day I was just like, I'm over you. Like I'm over you. I'm over everything that you put me through. I'm over everything you put our kids through. I'm over you trying to come in and out. It just hit me, and I was like, I'm done with this and I don't want it anymore. And that was months ago. And to this day, it's just like that the thought of I can't do that. It's something that I can't go back to. And it's something that I wish that I would have woke up a long time ago, but it always goes back to God for me. I wasn't right with God how I should have been. And I didn't have my relationship with God where it should have been. I didn't have my head where it should have been at, because if I did, then I probably would have been able to wake up to the signs a lot sooner. And I would have paid attention to those red flags, and I would have got right out of that. But I started flipping things, and I was like, well, maybe God wants me to help him. Maybe God is saying that he needs me, because my baby daddy, he didn't have his mom in his life. He didn't have his dad in his life either. And we both had lost our grandmas around the same time. So it was like, okay, maybe God brought us together so that we can help each other and we can go through this together. And so I started feeling guilty anytime I would think I need to leave him alone, or anytime there would be a red flag, because it came to a point where we were all we had. So that's why for a long time I did ignore the red flags. But even when I did decide to leave, I was like, I don't care if I'm all I got. I don't care if I got to do this by myself. I don't care what I got to go through, but I got to get away from you, because you're bringing me down. Like every time I would try to climb out of whatever I was going through, even when I started the business that I'm doing now, like he tried to get me to stop this. Everything that I do, he'll try to take it from me, or try to ruin something, or try to get it to where I can't have it. And so I had to wake up, because I was like, there's no way that everything in my life keeps going wrong. There's no way that you're always negative. You always have something bad to say, or you want something to go wrong for me. And I just had to stop ignoring the signs. I got tired of ignoring the signs, and I just woke up. And I wish I would have woke up a long time ago. I know I should have woke up a long time ago, but I'm just glad I did, because it could have gotten worse. I could have a third baby by him. I could things just could have been bad. And I'm just glad I woke up when I did.
Be thankful you did, because it could have took you 20, 30, 40 years. I know
Yes.
some women, including myself. Okay. So yeah, you got blessed.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to mention that the benefit in your story is that you found out early enough to make a recovery. A lot of us continue to just travel down the same path, and 15 years later we say, okay, now we know that this person isn't going to change, and it's too late for us to mentally recover from this bad situation that we put ourselves in. And for the remainder of your life, you're constantly thinking about what should I have done with this situation, and
Yes, sir.
you're trying to go past it, but you're still thinking about it, even though you're out of the situation. So you're young enough to recover. So good job on that.
Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that.
Any other questions?
So with you being in the business, how are you prioritizing, because you're doing such a well job in the business, being a business owner, or starting to become and learning how to be a business owner at such a young age, but still doing your mommy thing? How are you finagling that?
Okay, so it's getting a lot better. At first it was very hard, especially when I was in Mississippi. Like I went through a lot when I was in Mississippi, because this when I first came in, so I was really going hard. Like I was like, I gotta do this, because like I said, y'all, when I was in Mississippi, I was broke. I was praying for an opportunity. I was praying for God to send me something. I kept asking God, like, please send me an at-home job, please send me something where I could be with my kids and still do what I need to do, and blah blah blah. So when I was in Mississippi, I had my baby daddy there, and he wasn't working per usual, and he didn't really he knew what I had going on. So I would be like, hey, I gotta hop on this meeting, can you watch the kids for me? Or when I get up in the morning, I would make the kids breakfast, get them situated with their cartoons, and tell their dad, hey, I'm hopping on this meeting, I'll be back so and so time. So he'll have the kids while I'm doing what I'm doing. But then it got to a point where he kind of started seeing what I was doing and how I was becoming successful in what I was doing. And he didn't want to help me anymore. And he's like, well, I can't watch the kids, I'm about to go do this. Or he would just leave, or he would just be gone. And I'm like, okay, so I have to reschedule, or set things around, or switch things around, or you know what I'm saying? Just try my best to work. I'm leaving the appointments, leaving the meetings to go check on my kids, and running back and forth to make sure they're good. I got them buckled up in their high chairs and snacks and movies, and I'm running back and forth. And it was very hard, because his family, I also had to deal with the negative side from him and his family, where I know what me and my kids have been through. I know how hard we have struggled. So I knew why I was working so hard. But at the same time, I had to deal with the negativity coming from his family. Like, Oh, you don't never spend time with your kids. Oh, you're not doing this anymore. Oh, you're not a good mom because you're doing this and you're working and you're always working. And I just felt like I had to pick my battles, because if I already know what it was like to be struggling and have nothing, and I'm sitting in my kid's face all day, I would rather be building the hell out of a business to where I know my kids are going to be stable. I know my kids are going to be good. So now it's just like, I just had to come up with a routine where I can work it out to where my kids are good and I'm able to handle my business at the same time. Because like I said, I don't really too much have that help. I'm trying to get to a point where I can figure out some type of situation for some type of care while I try to do my work, because I do know that I really need 100% complete focus to be able to explode how I want to. So it does get hard. It does get frustrating because I don't really have help. I don't have a babysitter or anything like that. It's pretty much just me running around with like a chicken with my head cut off every day, just trying to figure it out as I go. But I know, I see my vision and I see how worth it is going to be. So it's kind of like I'm just going through every day. Like, okay, kids, come on, let's get it. I'm waking up and I'm like, come on, kids, let's, God, lead me today. However you can, lead me today. Guide me, just help me get through today. And I just ask God to lead my day, and he just does that. Some days, like I said, I do be going a little bit crazy because my kids are 1 and 2. So it's hard, but I know it's going to be worth it. I just got to figure out something as far as scheduling some type of care for them. But that's my thing. I don't want them to leave me. Like, I'm too scared to send them somewhere else or send them away from me. So I got to schedule something where I can be home with them in my own little, space, and they can be taken care of.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely understand your pain, and I commend you. You're doing an awesome.
Thank you, Miss Nikki.
Do we have any other questions? Okay. Terea, if there's one piece of advice that you would leave us with, one thing from your story, what would that be?
The only piece of advice that I would give would be keep God first. In everything that you do, keep God first, and God will take care of you. I just came across my business opportunity that I'm doing now. I just came across this about almost 3 months ago now. Before that, I hadn't been working since August. I kept God first, and God always met every single need that I had. To this day, God meets every single need that I have. There's been times where I can't tell y'all how I figured it out. I can't tell you. It's like a blessing just dropped from the sky. But I know that it was God. And I know that he works in mysterious ways. And I know that he's all over me, and he is using me like I asked him to. I just keep him first. And when you keep him first and you pray, you could be in a bad mood and pray, and your mood will change. Literally. So just keep God first in everything that you do. Always think about him. When you get to feeling alone, when you feel like nobody's there for you, nobody's helping you, I'm struggling, I'm by myself, I'm this, I'm that, think about God. God's here. God didn't give up on you. God hasn't left you, and he's still going to help you figure it out and get through whatever you're going through so you can get where you're going. The whole purpose is to not throw in the towel, because your turn is coming. So that's my advice.
Thank you for that. I love it. I absolutely love it. So as we close out, I'm gonna count to 3, and we're all gonna snap 3 times, and then we gonna go ahead and close out for the night. Again, I want to thank you for joining us tonight and coming to share your story. You just have a beautiful soul. As I've told you before, I
Thank
love
you,
you.
love.
You have just a beautiful everything about you. So thank you so much for coming to, share your testimony with us tonight.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I really feel honored. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that Miss Nikki chose me and you chose me. So anytime you guys need me, you both are beautiful to me. You both have beautiful spirits as well. So I'm always willing to help the next beautiful soul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Indeed.
On the next one.
Happy MACM Tuesday.
Subscribe to our
Tomorrow.
YouTube
Thank you,
channel.
everybody.
Tomorrow, same
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you
Thank
again,
you. That
Terea.
was beautiful.